Welcome to our second presentation during our introductory week of Writing for Online Media. One of the assignments for this class is to create your own online journal. This presentation will guide you through the steps of how to get started. Once again, here's my contact information if you have any questions or comments beyond our class discussions on fordham.blackboard.com. Easiest and quickest way to reach me is by email, nickleshy@aol.com. Each of you will create a weblog that you'll update throughout the semester. Don't worry if you've never done one before. Here's the process on how to get started. First, pick a topic you love. I'm leaving it wide open to you. You'll be writing at least one new entry on your blog a week, so I want you to pick a topic that will keep your interest throughout the semester, instead of a topic that will feel like a chore to you. Imagine if some of the great writers of literature were around today. William Shakespeare, Emily Dickinson, Charles Dickens, Mark Twain, H.G. Wells. Would they be blogging? If so, what would they blog about? Would they choose similar topics to what they wrote about back before the age of computers? Or would online media inspire their imaginations to write something different? It's something we'll never know because they didn't have that choice available to them. But you all have a choice as you stare at your computer monitors, to blog or not to blog. Your choice now is what to write about. I'm leaving it up to you. Choose a topic that you love that's as broad or as narrow as you wish. I don't want to hinder you with limitations. Is your interest something that a million other people are blogging about? Then you must find a way to make it unique. Do you have a very niche topic, something extremely focused that only a few people, or maybe no one at all, is writing about? Then you must find a way to engage your audience, make others want to read your posts, and keep them coming back for more. If you browse online, you'll find a wide range of topics, websites and blogs about every topic imaginable. Where do your interests lie? What do you want to write about? Current events, politics, sports, food, entertainment, travel, fashion, religion, hobbies, humor, fictional narrative, a personal diary, a combination of any of these, something different altogether? It can be anything at all, as broad or as narrow as you wish. Once you've chosen your topic, select a title for your blog. Make sure it's catchy and simple, something memorable and not too clunky. Do a search online to see if other websites or blogs have already taken that name. If so, maybe you can change the spelling or alter it slightly to make it unique, to make it your own. You want to be creative. You want it to represent what your topic is all about, but it can also be mysterious if you wish. It could be a play on words. Again, it could be anything. Here are some examples of some of the titles that students from previous semesters used for their blogs. News and Brews, which is right here, was a blog in which the author examined current events and then selected an appropriate beer to match that news item. No surprise, it was very popular with seniors and made them look at news in a whole new light. Frugal in the City, right here, was an advice column that offered tips on how to shop for clothes, meals, and social outings on a college student's budget. Next, the Boston Sports Blog found an interesting way to tackle the discussion of professional athletics, hyping up the personality of the author, a Boston native living in New York City. Next, Bronx Bliss was a catchy name for a journal about the life of a student living in the Bronx borough. The title was somewhat profound, since the adventures of the writer were filled with much of the angst and fears that many people face when they're in a strange surrounding, far from family and friends. But the readers were able to go along with the blogger, as she made new discoveries and new friendships. Another popular topic online is movies and entertainment. And For Reals, which is this blog up here, was a familiar yet unique examination of the films that the author loved and the ones that he hated. Next, Thought of the Die. Thought of the Die was a personal journal, sort of an online diary, and the title was a play on the author's first name, Diane. The next blog, Foot Fetish, was about soccer. It also is a cautionary tale to think about any other meanings of your words, since many students couldn't access the blog because filters blocked it, thinking it contained adult content. So be careful and consider if your blog title has any double meaning. Finally, Fiction Diction was a catchy name for a blog about the author's love of books. So what title will you choose for your own blog? I look forward to seeing what you come up with. Once you have a topic and a title, it's time to come up with a brief mission statement about your blog. What exactly is a mission statement? Some of you have probably heard that phrase before in business or marketing. A mission statement is a short written statement of purpose. What is your blog about? A mission statement is a declaration of the overall goal. What is the objective for your blog? What do you wish to accomplish by writing it? A mission statement is a brief summary, approximately 1 or 2 sentences. Think of a tagline for a movie or a TV show or a popular book. A brief phrase that sums up what it's all about. Have you ever heard the phrase elevator pitch? It's the concept of explaining your great idea in a quick sentence or two. So if you're ever in a quick elevator ride with a big shot who can turn your dream into a reality, you can pitch her or him your idea in a few brilliant words that capture the essence of your idea. That's a mission statement. A quick, well-written sentence or two that tells the reader what to expect from your blog. All of this has been planning so far. After you've thought about a topic, thought about a title, thought about a mission statement, now the fun begins. Pick a blogging platform, the online engine that will power your blog and be the primary tool that you will use to create it. There are a lot of options to choose from, but don't be intimidated. The best platforms make it extremely easy to create and publish a blog. Plenty of excellent free blogging platforms exist, such as Blogger, which is owned by Google, or the very popular WordPress. Other, older, but still fine free platforms include LiveJournal, Movable Type and TypePad, and one of the pioneers of mainstream blogging, OpenDiary. There are some proprietary programs that charge a fee for their software, such as Expression Engine and Squarespace. But unless your employer uses these platforms, you can still create professional-looking, fully functional blogs without having to pay for it. Other platforms that can be labeled blogs include Posterous, which was email-based, and even Twitter, which is often called microblogging because of its limitations of 140 characters or less per post. Tumblr started out as a microblog, but has now become one of the main platforms. Remember MySpace? The social networking pioneer offered a blogging function as one of its services. Justin Timberlake is an investor in the once mighty company, and maybe it'll rise again like a phoenix from the ashes. So there are many options out there. Choose one that you're comfortable using. Whatever blogging platform you choose, make sure it has the following features. First and foremost, it should be free. The biggest and the best blogging platforms out there offer you everything you could need without having to pay a single cent for it. Next, it should be very user-friendly. It should be easy to use to do the simple tasks that you'll have to do to enter a blog post. It needs to be easy to enter a title, easy to enter the body of the text, which will be the meat of your entry, easy to enter images or video or audio tracks. All of the top blogging platforms are simple to use by anyone, with or without any knowledge of computer coding. A good blogging platform should provide you with a good selection of design templates. These are previously created designs that you can use for your own blog, so you don't need to start from scratch. You can pick and choose from a number of available themes, one that matches your topic, and you'll be set to go. You can always choose another template later on without having to lose any of the content you might have already entered. Changing templates might require you to make some tweaks to your content here or there, but overall, everything you've written will be formatted and reformatted without you having to do anything except click a button. A good blogging platform should be customizable. Once you choose a template, you should be able to modify it to your needs. You likely won't find a template that perfectly fits your chosen topic, but you'll find something close, and then you can play with it, changing the background color, adding a new header image, maybe changing the font, moving the pieces of your layout around so that it becomes a unique representation of your vision instead of a dime a dozen other blogs out there using the same template. It should have no limitation on length or brevity. In other words, you should have the freedom to post an entry as short or as long as you want. Some people have stated that blog posts should be brief in length. I disagree. I think that blogs should have to follow the Goldilocks rule. Instead of too long or too short, they should be just right. Your blog posts should be long enough to cover the essentials of what you want to communicate and short enough to keep the reader's interest. Certainly we will be learning about the importance of the economy of words, choosing our words carefully and not unnecessarily rambling on. But you'll see that long-form blogs exist and can be captivating to read. So the best blogging platforms allow you to write whatever you want to write about without imposing a word count on your essays. A good platform should allow readers to leave their own comments. If the platform you choose doesn't permit you to do this, please choose another one. There's a big debate right now about whether or not news sites should allow reader comments because of the problem of spam and some abusive trolling behavior. But one of the advantages of online writing is the ability to receive feedback from your audience. So for this class, I encourage comments. I suggest setting your comments so that you can moderate them. But you should definitely allow your readers to share their thoughts with you. Finally, a good blogging platform should be viewable by audiences on any web browser, whether it's Microsoft Internet Explorer, Google Chrome, Firefox, Safari, or countless others. The best blogging platforms now even allow you to make your blogs accessible on mobile devices. Why limit your audience? The goal of online media is to allow content to be viewed and shared on any number of electronic devices. So test it out. Once your blog is up and running, test it. Look at it from different computers, a friend's computer, from a library computer, from your smartphone, to see how it looks on different screens. Sometimes you might have to make some slight modifications to make it as consistent as possible so everyone sees your words the way you intended. So choose a blogging platform that's free, that's easy, that offers some good design templates that are customizable, that have no limits on how long or short your post should be, that allow readers to share their comments, and that can be viewed on all the major web browsers. If it meets those criteria, you're good to go. As I said, don't be intimidated. Here are my recommendations for some of the best blogging platforms that meet all those criteria: Blogger, WordPress, LiveJournal, or Tumblr. Personally, I think you can't go wrong with either Blogger or WordPress. You're certainly welcome to choose any blogging platform that you feel comfortable using, as long as it meets the criteria that I previously mentioned. Once you've selected a blogging platform, you can start creating your blog. The major blogging platforms that I've recommended are very simple to use. You'll become comfortable with it very quickly. Once you're set up, please post one blog entry per week. I'll provide an individual feedback on your work every week, showing you what works well and what can be improved. Don't worry if your first post is just bare bones. As I said before, it's not where we start that matters, it's where we finish. I expect everyone's blogs to evolve throughout the semester, to change and get better as we hear from each other, and as we discover new ways to communicate in a more engaging and captivating manner. Even though I've left it pretty open-ended about the topics you should write about and the blogging platform you should use, I do have a few minor limitations that I'm imposing. For the purposes of this class, please avoid creating the following types of blogs. No microblogs. As I mentioned before, I don't want any limitations on the length of your posts, so sites like Twitter, which force you to write your updates in less than a set number of characters, won't be suitable for this class. Choose one of the other blogging platforms that allow for open-ended postings. This doesn't mean that I want you to write War and Peace every week on your blogs. Remember, you still want to keep your readers' attention and not bore them to death. But I trust you enough to be able to write engaging content without forcing you to keep it to X number of characters or words. Please avoid choosing a topic that is only photographs or only videos. This class is about writing, so your posts should have words in them. We will see the importance of imagery in online writing, and I expect you to include images as the semester progresses, but don't make it only about the photos. There are many excellent photo journals or video blogs out there, but again, the focus here will be writing, so make sure your blogs include words. You can still choose photography or videos as a topic for your blog, but in that case, make sure your entries also include written descriptions as you share your opinions about the images or videos or audio that you're posting about. Please avoid any pre-existing blogs. Some of you may have already created a blog in the past or might currently have an active online journal. I ask that for the purposes of this class, you create a new one. This way I can judge everyone equally, and you'll all be starting with post number 1, and at the end of the semester you'll each have a chronicle from beginning to end. Please also avoid any collaborative blogs. The blog you create for this class should be yours alone. There are many excellent blogs created by co-authors or teams, but for the purposes of this class, I want to be able to clearly know that the work on your blog is totally your own. You can still have an occasional guest post if you wish, but the overall blog should be your voice and your own intellectual property, instead of the work of others. So to sum up, please avoid microblogs, photo, video, or audio only blogs, pre-existing blogs, and collaborative blogs. Other than that, start blogging. Pick a topic, choose a title, write a mission statement, select a blogging platform, and create your blog. I'll explain how to share the link to your blog and your mission statement on our class wiki in my next presentation. Here are some examples of some of the blogs created by my friends to give you some ideas of what works and what doesn't work as you decide what you'd like to blog about. This first one is titled Moon and Gemini by Deborah Vega, who used to work with me at DLT Entertainment. Her tagline is a blog about writing, pop culture, and a dash of astrology. The title has an astrological feel to it, and the header image of an old-fashioned typewriter creates the impression that writing will be a primary focus. The next blog is American Traveler by a married couple, Lauren Azursky and Warren Schultz. Get the scoop on travel, dining, theater, and gardening. Those are the topics that interest them, so they write about the events that they attend. The name of their blog at first glance might sound rather generic, but they've spelled it in a clever way, highlighting the ah moment that they're searching for in their travels. And their header illustration gives the scope of their blog a very local Brooklyn flavor without limiting them geographically. Duncan's Diabolical Dialogue is by David Ryan. It's a collection of original writing, poetry, short stories, and general writings. The layout is very bland. The focus is on the words, but the font color is gray, and against the lighter gray background, it's difficult to read. I enjoy my friend's creative writing, but the presentation diminishes its impact. Online visual presentation is key to making your words stand out and connect with your audience. Everyman Actor is the official blog of character actor Timothy J. Cox. It chronicles his auditions and rehearsals. It promotes the stage shows, commercials, and independent films he's working on. The header shows a picture of a scene from one of his productions. This Close to Crisis is by John Minners, a journalist friend of mine. His tagline is Surviving Your 30s and Beyond. The fiery header image is impactful and emotional, instantly letting the reader know that this blog will be full of rants and points of view from a young man who's hoping that his midlife crisis is on the distant horizon. My friend Teresa Madranda writes, The knot has been tied, now what? Her mission statement is eternally single, but recently wed and now figuring it all out. Notice how she uses bold subheadings to visually break up her block of text. Here's an example of a powerful blog that started out as one of millions of other daddy blogs out there, but then took a turn into something more impactful. Fatherhood Matters is by my childhood friend John O'Leary. He describes it as a place to make sense of thoughts, feelings, fears, and joys about raising children. Then, the Newtown Massacre happened. That was John's hometown. So his blog about his autistic child and his other children suddenly became an amazing emotional journal about the thoughts of a dad surrounded by grief, but also a witness to recovery, bravery, and survival around him. The Lextopia is by Jesse Lex. His mission statement describes the blog as a spiritual communitarian geek ruminating on culture, writing, and utopia. Living with ALS is my good friend Ed Bartosek's blog. He passed away recently. It's a personal journal about life after being diagnosed with Lou Gehrig's disease, and it showed the struggles he faced and how he, now he lives on as a testimony of what he endured. As the disease took away his mobility and his ability to vocalize, he was still able to communicate with the world through blogging. Must Have Wine is a collaborative blog by Katrina Epp and Leah Spear. They call it a toast to motherhood, and it's a blend of a mommy blog, a foodie blog, and a blog about wine. They even published a book compiling some of their best essays from the blog, and it sold quite well on Amazon.com and elsewhere. The Mind of Gina Lockhart is a journal by a producer I know. It offers great advice, but the design layout is very dry. The tagline, Thoughts from a Learning Film Producer-Director, it also undermines the author's authority, painting her as a novice rather than an experienced authority, which she is. Paul Levinson's Infinite Regress is by Fordham University's Dr. Paul Levinson. It features his reviews of movies, television, music, and politics. Blog Time Passing is by Fordham's Dr. Lance Straight. I love the mission statement. A blog for passing time and passing messages about media. And this is my blog, City of Kick. It's a daily pop culture blog that I write and have available on Amazon. It covers the world of entertainment in all media. Looking at professional blogs is also a good way to gauge what works and what doesn't, and it might also give you some ideas of what topic to choose for your own blog. The New York Times has a nice selection of weblogs about politics, entertainment, business, sports, and so on. The Huffington Post is an industry leader in blogging, rivaling other news media organizations for audience reach. Their topics range from religion to culture to health to women's issues and beyond. Salon.com has a section called Open Salon that provides a platform for bloggers to share their journals with others. Some are broad personal diaries, others are more focused on politics or entertainment or more niche topics. Engadget is one of the highest ranked blogs out there, spotlighting technology and electronics. Gawker is a leading blog in the gossip genre. Formerly with the Daily Beast, Andrew Sullivan now has a standalone blog that's also worth reading. Heat Vision, a blog on the Hollywood Reporter's website, is one of my favorites. Finally, I also recommend Political Ticker, which offers blog posts about government, elected officials, and the dramatic world of politics. Hopefully you have seen enough now to get started. Hopefully some of the blogs I mentioned will give you some ideas if you're stuck. I'll offer some more tips as we go along and provide some specific advice for each of you as you start blogging. Next week I'll have a specific presentation about blogging tips and writing tips. Please create a blog and then check my next presentation on how to post a link on our class wiki so that your classmates can easily find it. And that wiki is what I will be using to check your blog entries each week. Good luck, and please let me know if you have any questions or comments. Thanks again.